So tonight we're just going to be making stories just to understand what is happening in our country. And remember, Kenya is one of our top continental focus. Kenya has been on the grid for some time. I don't know what is wrong with my mic. Let me check. Let me check what is wrong with my mic. I don't know if my mic is very clear. Let me see on the comment section if you're able to get me. Kama mnaweza nipata. Let me get to listen to you if you want to listen to me. If you're able to get my voice very, let me listen to you. Let me see your comment. Let me see your comment. Yes. Sasa haya, it's now bit good. So one thing I want to talk about today, umeona hapo nimeweka a very interesting topic of discussion, that is mkeka. Just talking about the irony of our government, that is the irony of throne that we are having in Kenya today. Now, Kenya is one of the top East African countries, that is including other countries, the 55 countries. But today, Kenya is into another grid. I've just come to learn that Kenyans have decided to resurface some of these videos that happened in 2025 and 2024. And some of these videos are actually very painful when you see memories of what happened during that time when our leaders could recklessly speak and talk about what the government should do to the subjects. But today we have seen some of them going to our local media houses to apologize what happened during that time. But does that one really bring the lives that were lost? Does it bring the properties that were lost? Does it really bring the compensation that Kenyans were anticipating? And that has brought a lot of question, even to the recent situation of this lady in Eldoret, where her shop was stormed by people who were calling themselves from the counterfeit authority. Imagine you struggle outside because your government cannot offer you job. You go look for money, come back home to build yourself. Then the same government decide to eat your own investment. Then Kenyans are like, what is really happening with this government? Don't they really feel the pinch of Kenyans? And or do they really understand what is happening? So the biggest question tonight is, what do we really need to do to make sure that Kenya becomes one of the most admired countries like it has always been? We are all known for good things. but our leaders don't really put the good things that Kenya is known for. Basically, tonight is an irony of throne, because irony of throne comes in a sense whereby the government needs to support its people, but at the same time, it is not its people. The government needs to protect its people, yet at the same time, it is not protecting its people. So you end up understanding two different lives and two different people who don't even actually care. So irony of throne now comes into the sense now we are seeing what happened at Citizen. I think today, if not today, but yesterday, when a member of parliament who at one point did say that the government need to shoot citizens, today has come to be a very clean cotton before Kenyans and say, man make mistakes. Even the Bible forgives those who make offense, and God also ordained forgiveness for man. But you are kind of asking yourself, is that will that really bring that difference at the end of the day? So the question tonight is, as Kenyans or any other person listening to me, do you really feel like the government that you are into today is really serving the interest of you as the citizen, or it is something else that you didn't expect? Let me hear you talk to me in the comment sections, and I will be very glad to read some of your comments. And remember also to support this channel to grow. At least I've seen we are about 72 subscribers, which I do hope before the end of the show we'll be able to reach around 100 subscribers or so. So let's get to the main points as to why we are doing this conversation tonight. We are almost coming to election period, that is 2027, a long awaited year that we are focusing today. And I've seen Kenyans have decided to debunk some of the rallies that politicians have been doing for quite some time by resurfacing some of these lethal bodies, by resurfacing some of these videos that happened during that time. And at the end of the day, these people are like, what should we really do? Make sure that we are also debunking some of these things the government is saying. And sorry that so tunataka tu tuangalie tu 2037, 2024, 2023, 2024. So nataka tuangalie on the 2 years, because that 2 years makes the center of my communication tonight, because nimeona Wakenya wameanza kuresurface kuleta zile zenye zili happen during the Gen Z protest, the killings, the list, the promises serikali ilifanya, the Azimio la Umoja vile walienda wakasurface na wakapata another rank for their members that today are in the capacity of cabinet secretaries, but mwananchi bado anazidi kutembea in the same pain. Leo nilikuwa mtaa, nilikuwa town pale kwa street na bonga na watu wangu, then all of a sudden nikauliza tu, are you really happy with how the government is conducting itself to serve the people? Some people wakaniambia, okay, tuko comfortable because we are in the broad-based government program. Some wakaniambia because tuko serikali we are good. Wengine wakaniambia no, we are not okay. We are suffering more than we could expect, because the government ilitu promise that inaenda kutupatia bottom up, meaning that the small SMEs sasa hivi as we are speaking before election wangekuwa na expect kufika ile level yenye wako na supermarket. Kama ilikuwa ni mtu wa bodaboda ako na magari mawili matatu zinafanya PSV service. Kama ni mtu anafungua biashara sahi, angekuwa anafanya very big commercial business, ama hata angekuwa na loan the government. But along the discussion kuna kitu madhi fulani alisema that tumefika situation whereby we don't see the essence of even bringing up children, because they are very sure that the government will be very in depth to kill them. So nikamuuliza tu like, why are you saying so? Akaniambia tu from the recent occurrence, tuko na serikali yenye it doesn't care the lives of citizens. All it cares is what comes in to their hands. Now, this lady, she's a businesswoman whom I will not disclose her name and where she works. She's a lady and she's one of the most dedicated ladies. So after talking to her for quite some time, then I pulled her from the crowd and I asked her, why do you talk so? She told me that to date, since the year began, I don't know how I'm going to sustain the lives of my children in school because the little business that I used to depend on today does not really bring the profit margin that I used to get to push my children to school. Today, I'm out of my landlord because I'm unable to pay a 6-month arrear. Yenye sijalipa. Yet the government is still going around and saying that the economy is good. Are you okay with in Kenya? In Kenya, Africa. No, yes. So that is the question. Ironically, ironically. So the question is there, are you okay with the governance in Kenya or Africa today? Let me set my So are you comfortable with how the government is managing some of your resources? Ama tu wewe ni kazi yako tu, bora tu umeamka, umejenga serikali, umepatia serikali yake, ukachukua yake. So currently I'm in Migori County and it's 10 counties and a lot is happening. Hope that some of them are very comfortable to talk about them, but let's answer the question on the screen so that we continue the discussion tonight. Tonight, Africa today is the center of conversation from the Western countries to the Eastern countries on how they are able to get back to reclaim and to recolonize some of these African countries, most of the Africa as a continent that we have today. Because tuko na viongozi wenye naweza sema due to lack of better word ni mabongo lala. Leaders who don't think about tomorrow. What they think is what they are able to consume. Yeah. What they are able Mm.